Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to crack open a really incredible text, the Maharatnakuta Sutra, to trace out one of the most detailed spiritual roadmaps you'll ever find, the path of the Bodhisattva.
All right, let's just jump right in with the question that gets this whole thing started. The Bodhisattva Akshayamati basically asks the Buddha, look, if everything is fundamentally empty, with no solid reality to it, then what's the point? What are we even doing here? How can you practice or make progress on totally empty ground? It's a huge question, and the Buddha's answer is what we're exploring today.
And the Buddha's response is just fascinating. He doesn't start with a list of rules or actions. Nope. He starts with intention. He lays out 10 powerful aspirations that a person makes. You can think of these like the foundational pillars you pour before you even start building the house of enlightenment. And each one of these aspirations lines up perfectly with one of the great perfections we're going to talk about in a minute. So, for example, the second aspiration is to have a mind that's like the great Earth. Now, why the Earth? Well, think about it. It's stable, it's vast, and it supports everything. It doesn't judge, it just holds everything up. And that kind of unwavering inner stability is the perfect ground for cultivating what's known as Shila, or perfect ethical discipline.
Then you have the third one, be like a lion king. A lion is just the king of its domain, right? Totally fearless, completely unshakable. This aspiration is all about cultivating that inner courage to face any challenge, any hardship, without getting rattled. And that, right there, is the very root of kshanti, or perfect patience.
Moving on, the sixth aspiration is to be like the sun. The sun just shines, right? And when it does, it effortlessly gets rid of all darkness. This is such a powerful image for the desire to wipe out the darkness of our own ignorance, which is the essential groundwork for developing prajna, the perfection of wisdom.
Okay, so once those powerful intentions are locked in, the Bodhisattva shifts gears from just aspiring to actually doing. This is where the real work begins. It's the path of cultivating the 10 paramitas, or perfections, and this is the absolute heart of the journey.
So what in the world is a paramita? Well, the word literally means to cross to the other shore. And it's such a beautiful metaphor. You gotta picture it. We're stuck on one side of a huge, turbulent sea, the sea of suffering and confusion, or samsara. These 10 practices, they're the boat. They are what carry you across that sea to the other shore, the shore of nirvana, of real, lasting freedom.
So where does the journey start? It begins with dana, the simple joy of giving, which starts breaking down the walls of our own selfishness. Then comes shila, purifying every single thing we do, say, and think. From there, we work on kshanti, that deep patience that only comes when you let go of anger and ego. And to keep all this going, you need virya, a kind of joyful, tireless energy. And all of it is held together by dhyana, the deep, grounding power of meditation.
And from that solid ground, the path starts to build into qualities that are, truly transcendent. It all leads up to prajna, that direct wisdom that just sees reality for what it is without any filters. That wisdom then fuels upaya, the amazing skill to help others in the most effective way possible. This is backed up by bala, or power, a deep insight into how karma and other people's minds work. The whole thing is driven by pranadhina, the unbreakable vow to see it all through, until it finally blossoms into jnana, the all-knowing wisdom of a fully enlightened being.
Now, as a bodhisattva practices and perfects these 10 paramitas, their whole inner world is transformed. And this isn't some random process. It unfolds across 10 very distinct stages called bhumis, which literally means grounds. Each stage is like leveling up, a totally new ground of realization, and each one comes with its own unique signs and incredible new abilities.
Okay, now this chart is basically the entire curriculum for enlightenment laid out in one place. It's this beautiful integrated system. Just look at the progression. You master a perfection, like giving in the first stage, which is called the joyful. That leads to a specific sign, like seeing infinite hidden treasures. And that unlocks a specific spiritual power or dharani, in this case, supreme empowerment. It's this perfect chain reaction, one stage building on the next, all the way to the top.
So we've got this perfect step-by-step map, right? A clear path, clear milestones, it all makes sense. But just when you think you've got it all figured out, the sutra hits us with a massive twist. The Buddha starts talking with Manjushri, the Bodhisattva of wisdom, and basically everything we just learned gets turned completely on its head.
And here's the paradox. On the one hand, we've just gone through this incredibly detailed, structured path of progress. But on the other hand, The Buddha says, flat out, in the Dharma I teach, not a single thing can be attained. So what gives? How can both of these things be true? How can there be a path to attainment if in the end there's absolutely nothing to attain?
And this is where Manjushri steps in with the key. He says that to practice the perfection of wisdom, which is the highest of all of them, is to abide in non-abiding. True wisdom isn't a prize you win or a place you get to. It's the complete and total release of trying to grab onto, hold, or possess anything at all. And that includes letting go of the very idea of enlightenment. So what does this non-abiding actually look like in practice? It means you stop playing the game of good and bad. A truly wise person no longer sees nirvana as this amazing goal they need to get to, and they don't see our regular, messy existence as something awful they need to escape from. And why? Because they finally see that both are just concepts. Both are ultimately empty of any solid reality.
And this brings us right back to where we started, but on a much, much deeper level. We began with this incredibly detailed map for a journey, but we end with the discovery that the map, the path, and even the destination are all, in a way, an illusion. So it leaves us with this final, profound question to really chew on. If there's truly nowhere to go and nothing to gain, what does it really mean to walk this path?